Welcome back. As you have just seen, Superintendent Dr. Ian Roberts has resigned as superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools. We had just taken you to a press conference that started at noon today. Our Zach Fisher was there live. We go back out to him now with the latest. Zach, a lot that wasn't able to be commented on from his lawyer, Alfredo Parrish.
Yeah, Lindsay, that's right. Certain aspects of it, specifically relating to the loaded weapon in a school-issued vehicle and then a prior weapons charge in Pennsylvania going back to February of 2020. I do have the letter notice of resign from Dr. Roberts from his attorneys as well. I'm going to go over a couple of facts that the attorney had went over here too. So he said that he was aware. We also have a letter from his prior attorney in Texas that his case for his immigration case, the final order of removal, that in April of 2025, his attorney notified him that it was closed. So that's what Dr. Roberts' legal team is saying now, that in April of 2025, the May 2024 final removal order, we're not quite sure how aware he was of that, if he was noticed of that, if he was participating in that case down in Texas. But we do know, we have a letter from his former attorney in Texas that they were aware that that case was closed as of April 2025. So that was a year ago. Not commenting on social security number that he had, his immigration status. I mentioned that letter as well, those gun charges. Now, we do know that he was born in December of 1970. There's been some questions, too, about his birth date. Was it 1970? Was it 1973? Was it 1978? His attorney did confirm as well that he was born in Guyana. So we have a lot of information here. Just got the letter from ICE, the final removal order. I was given that just a couple of minutes ago here to Lindsay. So you kind of have some competing documents. I'm talking with Congressman Zach Nunn in the coming hours for his explanation on that final removal order, and going to be asking him about these letters that we were given today. So I just want to reiterate here too, that final removal order happened in May of 2024, issued by an immigration judge. Dr. Roberts' former attorney down in Texas, by a letter given us today, states that as of April of 2025, his legal team, former legal team, was aware that that case was closed. So a lot of moving pieces. But as you mentioned at the top, Lindsay, the headline is that he is resigning from his role as superintendent. So we'll see what the Des Moines School Board does with that. They meet tonight at 7:30 as they were going to move forward with the termination process. I did ask, should we take this resignation as a sign of he didn't have the documentation, immigration documentation, the work authorization documentation that the board had required last night? Not really a comment on that. This letter basically just says, Lindsay, that he wants the focus to be on the educators and the students of DMPS, to take himself out of the role by resigning. But we'll have more this evening on the WHO 13 News at 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, absolutely. Zach has mentioned a lot of things that could not be commented on. Agreeing, did he ever apply for that U.S. citizenship? A lot of questions around that student visa back from 1999. Right. Thanks so much for that live report as you saw that press conference just wrapping up. Be sure to tune in again for the news at 4, 5, and 6 for the latest. As Zach mentioned, some competing documents that we'll be able to break down.